It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get your skate every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Yeah, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast for Tuesday. Big story that broke after the segment during the regular show today. Justin Timberlake, who performed in Miami just on Saturday night, apparently went home to New York on Father's Day. He's playing around with the kids, posting photos on Instagram, and then must hit the bottle or the weed pen or something because he got a DWI in Sag Harbor later on the night. That was the story today. Just find out, I guess, here on Tuesday, unless he went out yesterday maybe. I don't know. But that's what he was doing on Father's Day. So, yeah, I mean, that's a pretty quick turnaround, though.
Didn't you say it's the same place where Billy Joel had his drunken crash?
Yeah, in 2003, Billy Joel was driving his Mercedes in Sag Harbor when he lost control and crashed into a tree.
And then I thought he also crashed into one point.
He did.
He also got into a motorcycle accident back in 1980 or 81. Dude.
I would just get a driver if I was these cats. If I had all their money, I would never want to touch a steering wheel again.
He's a car guy, though. He loves motorcycles. Billy does.
Yeah, it is kind of an odd thing. You do wonder why you would ever be around it. And honestly, you wonder why anybody would ever have a DWI because, I mean, we all know. But, you know, honestly, I'm telling you, man, people get that booze in their systems, and it is just... It's bad decisions in a glass, and people knock it down, and they make terrible decisions when they get inebriated and get behind the wheel. Probably thinking they're okay, or who knows what.
Well,
why
isn't
the hell
that
it happens?
Would that be in an area where you might get some policemen to look the other way if you're a celebrity?
I would guess. Virginia and I were talking about that after the regular show, and it feels like I don't know that area well. I never got to the rich areas really in New York when I was there. But if it's anything like Palm Beach, that definitely is a Palm Beach thing where, you know, if you get popped, they really don't hand out DUIs. They get you home and they clean it up and you're all good.
So what they're saying is Justin was at this place called the American Hotel in Sag Harbor, partying, having a great time. And when he left the hotel, he blew through a stop sign almost immediately. Cops saw that and then began to follow him after he blew through the stop sign. I guess he was swerving, and they were like, all right. They pulled him over, gave him a sobriety test, and they asked him to blow, but he refused.
Can't stop the feeling.
Okay. Yeah. And there you go.
There you go.
People saw what was going on, and friends came to the scene trying to convince the cops to cut him a break.
Haven't they seen any of these videos online that this is going to go viral and it's going to probably make Justin Timberlake look even worse?
Well, probably not thinking that. And look, they've probably seen a lot of people who've gotten away with it. And look, there are probably even cops now that would like to. They're saying recording.
It's all on body cam.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everything's recorded now.
Right. So, you know, hey, even if the cop wanted to and would have, having that camera on, there are probably a lot of celebrities going to get busted that would not have gotten busted. We never would have heard about. Justin might have been one of them, where you would have never heard this story because the cop been like, yeah, you know what? I'm a big fan. Love, bye. I'll take care of it. I'll get you home, and we'll call it good.
But in today's day and age, just how everybody's able to track everything and find pretty much anything out with the cameras, with technology.
Yeah.
If you're the friend, you got to go, he's got to take it on the chin, and then...
Yeah, that's it. And I'm telling you, there's not many more things. You know, if you're a celebrity, it's one thing because you can. But I mean, that's $10,000 immediately. You know, for most people, that wrecks a year or more if you get a DWI for just the cost, and then you know what you get on your license, and then also too the blast to your reputation.
It all depends too on how did Timberlake act to the police officer? Was he trying to go, do you know who I am kind of a thing?
Hopefully he was cool.
And did his friends go, it's Justin Timberlake? It's all, because we all agree you can't be drinking and driving. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Now, do you make a terrible situation even worse by even looking that much more entitled and that much more?
Did you Reese Witherspoon it?
Yeah.
Or did you just put your head down and go, damn it,
'Cause
I'm an idiot?
Again, you're drunk and you're making bad decisions, and you just say things. I mean, I can't tell you, man. Pretty much about 90% of all my life's regrets and embarrassments came when I had alcohol in my system.
Oh, me
And
too.
Saying and doing dumb things and making decisions and be like, yeah, I would never do that if I were sober and didn't have any alcohol in me. And yeah, that's, probably a lot of what happened.
Because that's what you see these videos online. It's already a bad situation, but then people make it so much worse by going, my dad was a cop 2 years ago, and he's going to take you all down.
You don't know who I know.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
them just trying to get out of it and just say terrible things. It makes it look way worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's that freaking alcohol, man. A lot of it, and part of it, alcohol too can enhance. You may just be an asshole, and then it's just, the things that you might have had a filter on before, you would have kept in, even though you would have been thinking it. It just, there's no filter now. The filter's been washed away with booze.
The dam busted open.
It did, and here it comes, and you just say ridiculous crap, and so yeah, he's gonna deal with this. He'll have the money to get. It's not going to be a huge thing on that, but to him, it's more the damage to his reputation. And somebody even said in the chat earlier, I guess he's really been a big proponent anti drinking and driving for 20 years. It's been one of their things. I think if I remember right, they did used to have Dare out at NSYNC events, and that was something that they really propped up. And that's what's really tough about it is. That's what you stood for, and now this happens.
Wait, a celebrity's being a hypocrite? What?
Yeah, it is. That booze, man. That booze. So, yeah, that's the latest on him. He's going to be back in South Florida soon, too. He had that show on Saturday, and then he's got another one scheduled coming up.
So does he do the apology tour? But guess what, though? When you do the apology tour, you have to do that talk show kind of a situation, and then that's when the Brittany questions come.
Yeah, I don't think it's serious enough that he has to do a talk show tour about it. I think it's just saying, yeah, you do a public statement of just how you were a complete idiot and I handled my life the wrong way, and I am going to do everything in my power to make sure this never happens again.
It all depends on what was said on that video. How did they handle themselves? Because then you might have to do a tour.
Were you a jerk, or did you just take it on the chin and go, you know what, I'm an idiot, I messed up?
If you take it on the chin and you say you're sorry,
It's the best way to handle
you're
it.
able to move on.
You just got to be like, look, y'all, I'm human, man. I made a really terrible mistake. And look, I think that we all probably, or at least, as good as you are, you could have one of those moments.
Sure.
There is something that could happen. You'd be like, gosh, the worst of, because look, we are all made, or we have hopefully good, but then we all have bad. And man, if you feed that beast and the demon comes out, people be like, whoa, who is that?
Us drinkers usually have a few more bad than the sober people.
but
That's without a doubt.
to your point, I think everyone's got somewhat of a monster living inside them.
Yes.
But for some, it's bigger, and for some, it's smaller. But
Yeah.
it's within all of us.
Right. We all got a little demon in us.
We do.
And alcohol that removes the gates and the locks. Every drink you take, it's like another lock comes off another gate.
You hear the demon like, yes.
The demon's like, please,
keep drinking.
one more lock and I'm out of my cage.
The demon wants you to have more banana daiquiri.
Oh, no doubt it does.
I'm looking at the demon.
Uh-huh. The demon bartender.
I'll tell you what, though, that banana daiquiri, though.
It was slapping,
That thing was slapping.
except for the banana strings.
It was, honestly, I'd fight through it. It was that good.
I made it nice and rich.
Next time we have a little party here, we'll Uber, first of all, and then we will, let's make some banana daiquiris.
Absolutely.
It was a smoothie, but an adult smoothie.
It was
Okay.
thick. She was a thick girl, but it was nice.
I didn't think I'd like a thick drink like that, but I did.
You did. You liked it.
I did, yeah.
Okay. Brooke had some questions here. She wanted to know, is Virginia not even a little bit upset that she hadn't been given more airtime on Bar Rescue? My boyfriend and I were so excited to see her pop off like she normally does, and the only time she got on there, she was pretty polite. Now, I've met V in real life, and she is so nice. But I was really hoping to see the version of Virginia that calls people stupid on the KVJ show.
You did come off nice, in my opinion. You were warning us. I came off like a bitch.
I said a lot more that they edited out, and I think just for the show, I think that maybe I was too mean. There was so many problems with that bar/restaurant.
Yeah.
Maybe they just didn't want to just berate them and just beat them down. And you really kind of have to, you can't talk about, seriously, if they would have gone into everything that was wrong with that place,
Yeah.
it would have been a 4-hour show. They focused on the calamari. They focused on the issues with the raw chicken. And so that's all you saw us ordering. They focused on the issues with, Franny's mojito.
Yeah.
They didn't focus on all the things that I was commenting on, which was like the decor, the dust bunnies, the
You could just,
non-attention to cleanliness.
I could tell from the show. I looked at that. I'm like, oh my gosh, like no. And then, they cleaned it up, and at the end, it was better.
It did look way better.
It did. It was a
And
massive improvement.
They gave the bar a massive upgrade. They put equipment in there, and they really took care to
sound system, all that. They even worked on the
Yes.
playlist to make sure that, because look, that is key. There are places that the music can mess it all up.
totally.
And they had done all that stuff, and they trained the bartenders and some of the staff. But look, I mean, to me, it's almost like you got to go to university and learn that stuff down deep, man. If I were really going to run it, I would want somebody that's really an expert
No, you're right.
in their field to make sure we had the funding and everything was just working out right.
I think it's got to start with passion, but also some education. I think you have those two things first.
Yes.
Your shots are better.
Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. I was surprised by this, though. I did look up Bar Rescue because I was curious because, I've always kicked around that. Man, it'd be great. I would love to have a bar. I just love connecting with people and, those kind of stories and having a place where the community can come in and you celebrate Little League championships and all that kind of stuff together, watch sports games together.
Especially if it was running turnkey and everything was that would be
Right.
a very cozy
If I had the
thing.
managers that they took care of it, I was just the guy to smile and welcome people.
Drink
and,
at the bar.
Yeah, drink at the bar, be that guy. I'd love it.
Whip up some banana daiquiris.
Yeah, but they said, and I looked this up, of the 229 total bars featured on Bar Rescue, the show on Paramount, from the series start in 2011 till now, 108 of them are still slinging drinks to customers, making the overall success rate of Taffer's interventions an impressive 47%. So majority still fail. 53% still fail, but 47%. And look, if it's true that about 99% of all restaurants fail, then he's beating the odds.
You can have the best team with the best servers, the best product, the best education. And things just sometimes don't work out. Restaurants are hard. They're
Yep.
tricky. People, especially in South Florida, are so fickle. Just the fact that everybody in that restaurant in Port St. Lucie really didn't seem like they knew what they were doing.
They showed that on the show, and
Yes.
he even said, he was the one of the two owners. He's like, your kid's college is in this place, your house, your mortgage is in this place. You're going to lose everything if you don't get this right. And I was like, how terrifying is that? I couldn't even imagine.
Terrifying.
Most of the time, too, these people are a mess on the show. They were nice on this episode, but there's times where the owner is drinking and giving out drinks. They're full blown
Yeah.
alcoholics.
Yeah.
No,
They're-
they were doing that too.
Yeah.
You're not going to change because John Taffer. A lot of people aren't just because you come in there for a week. They may change for a month, maybe, but they'd have to change their entire personality. Most people ain't doing that.
I think John Taffer liked these guys, and there was a little friction at one point with one of the owners on the episode when he was trying to bark back. But I think he realized, I'm going to let John Taffer be in control here, and I'm going to succumb to this big dog in the room. And I think John Taffer didn't want to humiliate the guy by going into everything wrong with his place.
Right, true, and ultimately, I think at the end they don't want to bury him so badly that nobody'd ever go in because the point of the show, I think, is to turn a bar around and hopefully they can be successful. And they're keeping that stat for a reason. And he probably knows the number. If you ask John Taffer, he'd probably be like, we have a 43% or 47, whatever it was, percent rate of success on bars we turn around.
I've been pretty much watching that show from the get, and there are times where he has absolutely gone in and fucking destroyed them with what he says. He'll get in their face.
Totally.
It's not. It's an entertaining show too. There's a reason why he shut it down. He knows what he's getting into. He'll lay the smack down. I've seen him lay the smack down before.
Yeah.
But it really seems like he wants to help these people turn it around too. Like,
I got that.
The genuine really came out of him when we met him. I was like, okay, this guy's not just doing it for the show. I think he really does care and wants to help these people that need so much help.
Well, and the thing I got out of that episode, they tried to help the bartender move a little faster, simplified the menu for the cooks. But I walked away thinking, this place is not going to make it. You just don't go from knowing nothing, which it seemed like the two owners knew nothing, really. And the staff knew nothing. And having it look the way it did, and just knowing how competitive it is. Even, in Port St. Lucie, I know it's maybe not as competitive as further down south, but I don't know, man. We'll see.
It's going to be tough.
I hope they can do it.
I do too.
Robert Irvine seems like one that legitimately cares, and I feel like he's the best when it comes to not doing all the Hollywood stuff, if that makes sense. He's a little bit more, I think he really wants to follow up and make sure. I wonder what his stats are. Don't you like him too?
I do. My friend works for him. I actually hung out with him. He's very intense, and he is very good at what he does.
So you've met Irvine and Taffer. Look at you.
Robert Irvine seems like he's in South Florida a good bit. Does he have a place here? Is he New York, or what's his story?
Well, he's here a lot. He does a lot with the Food and Wine Fest.
Yeah.
And Daryl, his right-hand man, lives down here. We've known Daryl for years and years and years.
Yeah, he seemed like he had some connection to the area.
He does. He's down here a lot. He knows a lot of the Food and Wine people.
Well,
he's South Beach Food and Wine, Palm Beach Food and Wine. He does them all.
Wouldn't you argue that we probably have the second best area on the eastern seaboard, at least for chefs in America? New York would be one.
New York would be one, yeah.
Miami, South Florida, two. Do you think?
Yeah, I lump South Florida in with Miami because when these guys like Irvine and Taffer, they come down here, they'll do events all over South Florida.
Yeah,
they'll do bar rescue, or they'll do Food and Wine Fest all up and down South Florida, and they go back and forth. So I would say New York, then South Florida.
Bam. When are you hanging out with Emerald?
I would love to hang out with Emerald. I've never met Emerald.
You love him.
I do love him.
Is he your number one? Of the cooking kind of world?
Gosh, it's hard to say. I mean, Danielle Boulud is pretty hot. I've met him. He's pretty awesome. I don't know. It's tough. A lot of these guys, you meet them at the Food and Wine Fests, and they come through, and they're pretty easy to get access to. They do book signings. They do meet and greets. They do cooking demos. They do events. Like Robert does the whole kids cooking challenge, and you can get real up close and personal. It's pretty fun to see them and see how they work and watch their behind the scenes and see their crew and see how they talk to people. And, okay, are they a douche? Are they nice? It's fascinating.
Do I get sued if I had a name Emerald and I come up with boom? Do I get sued from does he do I?
No, because you probably wouldn't even get on the radar. So you wouldn't even be a thing they'd be worried about.
He's not going to care about your 130
that
views.
motherfucker's going to flame out in 2 seconds, so I'm not going to waste my time.
Boom, we get 0 views. Boom.
Yeah. Brooke also had said, my boyfriend and I were at the Boca Black Box on Saturday, and I meant to point out to Virginia because the shirt that I wore says, "I do not forgive and forget, I remember and hate."
That's amazing.
I thought that Virginia would probably like that. She said we also had seats near the bar. Before he leaves, we'd like to know what came of Suit's adventure over to the bar with the small flock of ladies that came to him.
Well.
Especially the girl with the long black hair and a ponytail. Will Suits be breaking hearts before leaving South Florida?
Suits!
Did you dip it Saturday, Suits?
I mean, if ever there was a time to dip a little bit, it was a show dedicated to you
Yeah.
and your new journey.
Did you pull a train there, conductor?
Damn, Kevin.
Come on, ride the train
I did have the hat
and
for
ride
it.
it.
He
Yeah, he
did.
did.
I don't know if you saw that video.
I just see a bare naked Suits pulling a train in a conductor hat.
I mean, you were looking fly with that thing. It's a video
good
out
look,
there after the.
I saw that. You
Yeah.
posted that yesterday. That was very entertaining. Suits kind of his goodbye to KVJ Nation. It was very heartfelt and entertaining at the same time.
I'm glad
It's
to hear
everything
because
you
I have
want.
no idea what I said on that video.
I did have to. I had
fantastic.
to make some edits, baby.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I was trying to get the drinks for Do It Bitch. So I was up there trying to get the shots and just was talking with everybody, and then people were buying me drinks. So that's kind of where everything went off the rails because we bought some tequila shots, and yeah, that was about the last that I remember.
Nice.
Most of it.
Okay. All right.
But look, you were over there doing the Lord's work, getting drinks for Do It, bitch.
Hey, somebody had to do it. We needed those drinks.
We did.
Also, no sign of Jbird's haunted doll Vlad, who was doll napped on Saturday. He was taken and then brought to Duffy's, where it looks like he was given alcoholic beverages.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Vlad loves to drink.
Okay.
He likes
Hopefully
to
he didn't drive.
He loved pulling a train.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, he's very sexual.
Okay.
Yeah, very
what he would
carnal.
do to Raggedy Ann. huh?
Oh my gosh. 69.
Did you get any phone numbers or anything? You make anything happen?
No, I was way too busy with all that stuff. I was running around like crazy. It was a madhouse in there. It was so much fun, but like every time that I had to go and do something for the show, it took me a half hour to come back.
Gotcha.
Because everybody just was so nice and wanted to talk. It was a great time though.
There wasn't any time for.
No time for romance.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately
Not even afterwards.
By the time we finished pictures, I mean, it took forever. I mean, not that I'm complaining. It was great to have so many people out there that wanted to do photos but yeah, unfortunately, no, I didn't make it happen.
We took him home, so no, he did not get any.
yeah,
You
no.
rode home
I went
with-
home with Denny's and Bird, so that was not how I wanted the night to end.
Sober Denny's and drunk Bird. You're definitely not
And-
getting any play there.
Poor Denny's just having to listen to us ramble all the way back up here.
Denny's loved it. He texted me the next day. I love the conversation, man.
He's such a good liar.
Scratch Addict is a pretty good idea. A new movie plot, Bird. The guy steals Vlad. He gets killed by the doll, and then Vlad comes to find you.
Oh, very,
okay.
very good.
And Brooke also said that she thinks you should really consider talking with Vicky from your Weird and Whatever podcast about closing the Vlad chapter more formally. I've heard before of paranormal objects holding resentment and causing harm even if they're no longer with you in person. Jbird's health was never anything pristine, but it does seem ever since having Vlad, everything went way more downhill for him physically. Not gaining weight or anything, just moving around. So.
How's that back?
It's better today, believe it or not.
Okay.
Actually, I actually feel pretty good today. But I stretched it like a son of a bitch yesterday. By the way,
It's good.
to answer that email, Vlad's coming back home.
Yeah.
Vlad will find his way back home. It may not be today. It
It's
may not be
J&J
tomorrow.
that took him. Yeah, we put a wanted poster out for him yesterday. In case
Look, anybody that
sees
took
him
him, they're not going to keep him.
No, they're
because
not.
things are going to start going bad, and they're going to be like, we got to get rid of Vlad.
Yeah, well, Vlad's a good social experiment.
Yeah, we have my daughter Caitlin came up with a missing poster for him. So
It's very good, very funny.
photos we have. Yeah.
I love that.
Yes, race is haunted.
Right?
Haunted.
I love that his name is Vlad Pennington.
Vlad Pennington. Yeah. it's like
He's in your family.
it's like you've adopted him or something.
Yes.
Yeah, Vlad Pennington.
Is he your baby? Is he your
race
brother?
haunted. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Jamie said, excuse me, I just watched the Netflix movie Hitman starring Glenn Powell, and I absolutely loved it, so that person shaming Kevin for liking it can just fuck off.
Man, there's so much. I'm getting so much inconsistency from this movie.
It gets mixed reviews. Look, it's lighthearted. It's definitely not like a typical cop drama. It's lighthearted. It's fun. The sex scenes are pretty steamy and sexy.
To me, if you do a rom-com, if you have chemistry with the two people in the relationship, it likely is going to be a good movie. That's about really all I want. You know, the worst is when you have a rom-com and they just don't click, and you're like, I'm not buying this. But
Yes.
He's hot, she's hot.
Right.
He gets hotter throughout the movie, and then by
Yeah.
the end, like everybody's starting to notice, like, oh, okay, this guy's got swagger.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it tonight. Then I'm going to give you the Birds review tomorrow.
And
Bird's
look,
eye view.
Bird's eye view.
I will admit, I think I brought some bias to it, and there is a reason. This Adria Arjona is next level gorgeous. She is the girl that is in it, and she is the one that Wally says here is going out with Jason motherfucking Momoa. She divorced her husband of 5 years, and she definitely upgraded.
She's dating Jason Momoa?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, she's next level gorgeous.
She's one of those girls that's like hot, even with like no makeup on, like no
Yeah.
effort. You
Yeah.
look at her and you're like, whoa, she's just stunningly beautiful.
There are some people who just, and some people, yeah, they can dress it up and you're like, oh my gosh, they look beautiful. It looks great. I don't think she could be unattractive.
Right.
I don't think there's any way you could make this girl unattractive. She's at that level. And her dad, Ricardo Arjona, apparently is a musician, soulful, yes, at times weepy. I think Jbird would love him.
Okay, I'll check. Weepy.
Yeah.
He does love a weepy ballad.
I love it.
Yeah. P.S. I went to his concert, and I believe Jbird can find a Latino wife there because, wow, the amount of beautiful Latin women there was overwhelming.
I don't know if Jbird could handle a Latina wife.
You don't know what the fuck I can handle.
I do, actually.
Why do you pipe down?
You can't handle no banana daiquiris.
It's a ride, my man.
I can tell you what, I can't handle this Cajun man that I work with.
I think Latina women can be a little bit more spicy than Cajun, even.
Maybe,
I feel like everyone
Can't
says that
compare,
about
but
everybody.
maybe.
Oh, you're dating an Italian woman. You're like, I can be women.
Okay, we got Daniel here. He was talking about us playing Sean Paul's "Give Me the Light." He said that song you guys were talking about. I don't know if you knew this, but he was saying literally it was about smoking weed. The title "Give Me the Light" is referring to a lighter to light up DW.
Oh, and
Light
so
up
it wasn't about a
DW.
bucket of rum?
Well, the one thing that is in there, Michael said Jamaicans say "bottle" instead of "bottle."
Oh.
He says, bust another bacalamo. Bacalamo. That translates to bust another bottle of mo, meaning moet.
Oh, look at that.
Now we know. Okay. I'm telling you, the stuff you learn on this
I like it.
show. Unbelievable. Also, didn't know this either. Keith said, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but if you put down mulch in your yard, you will get solicited by realtors. I guess they think that you're getting your house ready to put it on the market.
What if you just like mulch?
I know.
Some people.
Heaven forbid.
Please, no realtors knock on my door. In my personal life alone, I think I know 87 realtors.
Will it make the people who try to sell me solar panels go away?
Yeah, be like, I'm getting ready to sell. Can't you tell I put down mulch?
And people are hitting me up. They're sending personal messages. Mulch brings bugs. I get it, but it looks pretty.
I love mulch.
I mean, I
Don't
think it
ruin
looks
mulch.
great.
I
Yeah,
think
you're
if it's
not-
outside.
Well, and this, you ever like smelled fresh mulch too?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was the one thing when I did. We were talking earlier about if money wasn't an object, what you'd love to do, and that was another thing I loved about doing landscaping because we would mulch all day long. We had a huge old truck of it. You were just with pitchforks and mulching and all that. The smell, man, because it's like freshly chopped up timber. It's just, oh man, drinking that in.
Are you guys rock
Loved it.
people? Do you respect rocks?
I have rocks in the back. I have mulch in the front.
Yeah, rocks are solid. It
Rocks in the
depends.
back, mulch in the front.
Yeah, it does sound like.
I
What
should
are you talking about?
get on a track
That's
with
weird
that.
because my rocks are in the front.
My rocks are covered in mulch.
That's not good.
No, might want to cut that back a bit. And Jackie is referring to a story we had earlier. 85-year-old Ian McKellen fell off a stage in London last night. Doctors are saying he'll make a full recovery, but Virginia's talking about her grandma having some falls, and it's just what older people do. And I was saying, man, you would think that they'd come up with some kind of suit or something that older people could wear because it's one of the top things to take out. It's what took out my grandma Beulah.
Yep.
Now she went down a flight of stairs, so she went down real good.
When she fell,
Yeah.
she fell and said, "I'm really going to end this thing."
Oh yeah. She knew it. Yeah. In fact, she was banned from going in the basement, and she just like, I'm going to the basement. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's one of the things she said. My dad right before she passed. She's like, well, I guess I got a little big for my britches.
Aww.
She knew it. Hey, she took that chance. She
think-
rolled the dice.
I think there's an age for everybody where they should not go down basements.
Amen.
Oh yeah,
And it's different for everybody.
She had tricky stairs. I mean, I ascended those things hammered many times, and it's not good for old people or drunks.
Basement stairs are always tricky.
Yeah.
Falling downstairs. When
Oh,
you're
it's
drunk
terrible. They're
is-
wood and
'cause
sharp.
You don't really feel all the pain in that moment.
Oh yeah, and they didn't really have guardrails on the side, so you go right off the side of it. It's terrible. Jackie said, really, what bubble wrap for seniors is just muscle. You got to lift weights and you got to eat meat. Period. So, okay,
Yeah.
that's thought as you get older.
I feel like old people eat a lot of fish and egg. No?
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Not as much as
right.
tapioca.
They love that as
They
well.
love pudding.
Yeah. And then we got into a bit when we were talking salaries earlier. Somebody wanted to just bring some points up about the teacher rates in Florida and all this and that, and kind of defend it a bit. And, every time we talk about it, I do get a little new enlightenment. And they're saying even with the pay raise that teachers are getting in Florida, last time we found out when you break it down, inflation's still outpacing the raises. Or talking about $1,000 a year annually is what it was doing. But it's mainly incentives for new teachers. A lot of the veteran teachers were hitting me up, and even one that said, look, I'm a diehard Republican and all that, but I'm not loving it because it's not taking care of me.
Oh, believe me, there's division in every
Yeah.
field that you work in. There's always factions, and I've heard teachers talk about exactly what you're talking about: young versus old, veterans versus the newbies. And
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
competition, man.
Yeah, there's
They're
just-
not. It's all kumbaya.
Well, if you're a veteran, I think you deserve more, right?
Well, and look, I will tell you this. I know my mom, when she was a teacher, and she was a veteran teacher too, she was in it pretty much her whole life. She really wanted it to be based on how good you were. She would always go off on teachers that were dialing it in. And she put everything she had into it. She was working her ass off and trying to make every lesson, every day at class as engaging as it possibly could be, and really cared about kids showing and learning. She said, look, so many teachers are here they would sit in the teacher's lounge, and then you could like smoke in there, and they were like drinking and just not even.
Oh, you could take that
Dang.
cigarette and burn a kid with it. You're still with that tenure.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bar.
And she wouldn't even go to the teacher's lounge because she was like, it was like a bar. Going in there. And she said she didn't. So it was kind of weird. You had the party teachers and you had what my mom's clique was. She was the serious, we're really here trying to bust our ass and we want to change kids and mentor them. And then some of them were just like, yeah, I get summers off. And, I always get that comment. Michael said, hey, how much do teachers make an hour? And somebody broke it down hourly and said, look, they get 3 months out of the year. And that's why some of them do it. And yeah, it is. I get that. And look, I mean, my wife's a teacher, but she works all summer. She does the summer camp stuff to try to supplement the income.
Well, I agree with your mom to a certain point of view, because let's say, which I've heard this happening, let's say you've got a veteran teacher who is the one dialing it in, and they're not busting
Right.
their ass anymore.
Yeah, that's why it should be merit based.
It
based
should be
on
if you're doing if you have the right training and you have gone through all of and you're bringing in numbers and you're doing it. I think you should be making the money.
I like fields that look. Radio's that way. We get paid based on our merit. Not every radio person makes the same amount of money, and it's based on what you bring in listenership and all that stuff.
So how would you do it? Would you do it based on like the teachers, the students' scores?
I would do it different ways. I mean, I think part of it is scores, but it's also too having administration that is really in touch with that. Now you can look into classrooms and see what's going on. And if you had an administrator that understands teaching and when somebody's doing it right, you could come up with a grading system it would be based on several different things. Because, yeah, sometimes you just may get a class all dumbasses. And as much as you bust your ass, the parents don't help out. They're not making them do homework. They're not helping them in other ways that, I wouldn't want to penalize a teacher for that. But to
Right.
me, you could probably come up with 4 to 5 different categories on how you rate teachers, and you would do an evaluation with them and say, okay, look, we have to sit down for evaluation. Say, hey, here's what you're doing well, here's what you're not. And just to let you know, I gave you this grading on that, so this is what your pay is going to be next year.
Yeah, I don't think it's just one specific thing, but I think you're right. You base it around 5 or 6 criteria, and that's how you come up with they're crushing it. And
it's not about
you're
how long
dialing
you've
it
been
in.
here. You could be here a week. You could have been here 11 years. You know, we just want to see what you're putting into it.
But there is absolute factions within a teaching community.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, there's cliques. There's all
There's
that kind of
fucking
stuff.
new girls coming in here.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. So definitely a lot of interesting things to think about. But any subject or topic you have, it's usually layered, and that one is definitely a layered topic. So appreciate all your feedback and perspective on that. You can always send it to us at mail@kvjshow.com. You guys enjoy your Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.